Nice to have each other on Ogtv main news. My name is Bukola Agbaki, so you're welcome on board. On the news, former head of interim national government, Chief Ernest Shoneko, dies at 85. President Buhari okays establishment of Nigerian Diaspora Investment Trust Fund. 35 million people out of poverty creates 21 million new jobs through National Development Plan. British Prime Minister Boris Johnson faces fresh scandal over lockdown party bridge. All the world is a laboratory to the inquiry mind.
First news, EFCC recovers over 152 billion naira, $386 million and other huge foreign currencies in 2021. These and many more to come on the business segment of the news. I am Shiniat Abaru.
And coming up from the world of sport, Nigeria begins AFCON 2021 on a winning note. I am Emmanuel Dasalu, and I'll be bringing you details on the sports segment of the news.
Now to the details of the news. Chief Ernest Shoneko, who headed the interim national government that succeeded the junta of the retired General Ibrahim Babangida, is dead. Shoneko died in Lagos at the age of 85. He was the interim head of the Nigerian government between August 26 and November 17, 1993, when he was ousted in a coup led by late General Sani Abacha. Shoneko was a British-trained lawyer, industrialist, and former chief executive of the United African Company of Nigeria PLC before he was appointed as interim national government chairman by retired General Ibrahim Babangida in 1993. He was born on May 9, 1936 in Lagos into the family of an Abeokuta-born civil servant. Chief Ernest Shoneko was educated at CMS Grammar School and Igbobi College. He received a law degree from the University of London and was called to the bar. Meanwhile, President Muhammadu Buhari has received with profound sadness the news of the death of a great statesman and former head of the interim national government, Chief Ernest Shoneko. The President, on behalf of the federal government, extends deepest condolences to Chief Shoneko's wife, Margaret, loved ones, as well as the government and people of Ogun State. As an internationally respected statesman, President Buhari affirms that with courageous wisdom, Chief Shoneko left his flourishing business career to become the head of government at a delicate time when the country needed someone of his pedigree to save the ship of the state from sinking. The President noted that Chief Shoneko demonstrated to all that the love for the country and commitment to our development, peace and unity transcend the trappings of office and the transient nature of political power. The President prays that the memory of the departed head of government will remain a blessing to Nigeria, even as it finds perfect peace with Almighty God. In a related development, Augusta Governor Prince Dapo Abiodun has mourned the death of an elder statesman and the former head of the defunct interim national government, ING, Chief Ernest Shoneko. Shoneko, who headed the ING between August 26 and November 17, 1993, breathed his last in Lagos early Tuesday at the age of 85. Prince Abiodun, in a statement by his chief press secretary, Kunle Shomori, described the death of his of the Egba-born British-trained lawyer, industrialist and traditional chief as a colossal loss to Nigeria in general and Ogun State in particular. He expressed grief that Chief Shonekon, former chairman of the UAC Nigeria PLC, passed on at a period Nigeria needed his experience most as a technocrat. Chief Shonekon was a first-class administrator, boardroom guru, and astute leader whose imprint in the business and political firmament cannot be erased. His commitment to peaceful resolution and patriotic fervor will live after him. Governor Abeokuta, in the statement, described Chief Shonekon, an Egba traditional chief, Baba Saleh of Egbaland, as a true Nigerian who spent most of his life for the betterment of the country, while noting that his death has created a huge vacuum in Nigeria and Egbaland. Governor Abeokuta prayed for the repose of the deceased soul and that God will comfort his immediate family and the Egba Traditional Council. Former President Olusegun Obasanjo has equally joined eminent Nigerians in mourning the late ex-head of interim national government, Chief Ernest Shonekon. Chief Obasanjo described the deceased as a unifying force in Nigeria. He declared that late Chief Shonekon's contributions to the growth and development of democracy cannot be forgotten. Chief Obasanjo, in a condolence letter to Mrs. Margaret Shonekon on Tuesday, noted that her husband was a role model and patriotic citizen. He said the deceased was a man who had a strong will to succeed despite coming from a humble background, recalling how Shonekon rose to the top of corporate management with his chairmanship of the United African Company, UAC. Meanwhile, tributes have continued to pour in for the former interim head of government in Nigeria, Chief Ernest Adegunle Oladeyinde Shonekon, who died in Lagos early on Tuesday. But in the midst of these many tributes, our News and Current Affairs division takes a look at the life and times of Baba Saleh of Egbaland. Bumi Adegun is our guide.
A Nigerian lawyer and statesman who served as the interim head of state of Nigeria from 26 August 1993 to 17th November 1993.
I accept the challenge to serve as head of the interim national government of the Federal Republic of Nigeria.
Prior to his political career, Shonekon was the chairman and chief executive of the United African Company of Nigeria, successor of the Niger Company, a dominant Nigerian conglomerate, which at that time was the largest African-controlled company in sub-Saharan Africa. After Shonekon's appointment as Nigeria's interim head of state, he became the scorn of the country's post-election annulment era politics. Many pro-democracy and interest groups that had sprung up from the southwest cast diatribes at him and labeled him an obstacle on the nation's path to democracy and social justice. Shonekon was a kinsman of Moshood Kashimawo Abiola, as both were indigenes of Abeokuta, and Abiola believed to be the winner of the 1993 election. During his few months in power, Shonekon tried to create a new timetable for a return to democracy by holding a fresh general election on February 9, 1994. But Sani Abacha displaced him in November 1993. Interestingly, Shonekon took up another appointment with the Abacha-led government in 1996. He was made the chairman of the Vision 2010 Committee, a group of 248 members saddled with the responsibility of developing plans to guide the country out of poverty and other challenges at the time. After Abacha's demise and the subsequent return to civilian rule, Shonekon withdrew from limelight, occasionally playing the role of an elder statesman.
It is not only in this country that we have infrastructure deficit. If you look around the whole, even developed countries, they have infrastructure deficit. And the way forward is what everybody seems to be doing, and that is to see how they can reduce that deficit. of infrastructure. The country belongs to each and every one of us. God has given us all that is required to make this country great. And I think we should come together and join hands to make sure that we don't forfeit that opportunity that God has given to us.
On Tuesday, he died at a hospital in the Lekki area of Lagos State. Bumi Adigun, Ogtv News.
May God continue to rest his soul. Away from that now to other stories in the bulletin. The Ogun State Governor, Prince Abeokuta, has disclosed that the Isure-Ijebu-Mushin Road will soon be approved for construction, just as he reiterated that his administration has also awarded a section of the Ilaro-Owode-Ilishan-Agoiwoye and the Ogun Waterside Road. Prince Abeokuta made this known during the first Executive Council meeting of the year 2022 held at the Executive Chamber in Okimoson, Abeokuta. Governor's Office correspondent Yusuf Ganion reports.
This gathering was the first state Executive Council meeting of the year 2022. After various deliberations on how to further strengthen the socio-economic development of the state, Governor Abeokuta noted that the Esuretu-Ijebu-Mushin Road will be approved this week, adding that his administration will also reactivate another legacy project which starts from Ijebu-Ode and traverses for local government would be coming up soon for the benefit of the people.
Esure to Ijebu-Mushin Road. And I'm saying this for the record because I don't want Ijebu East people to think that they were forgotten or left out. They are not left out. The reason why that road has not been considered at this exco is because the value of that road is within my approval limit. So that road will be approved also this week, but it does not have to come to the State Executive Council. So,
Governor Abeokuta noted that President Muhammadu Buhari will be visiting the state on Thursday, 13th of this month, for the commissioning of Shagamu-Abeokuta Expressway, Ijebu-Ode-Ekpe Road, King's Court Estate, and the housing estate in Kobakpe, as well as the Gateway City Gate.
Time Mr. President will be visiting Ogun State since we assumed office. We all remember what happened the last time when we were still a candidate of the party, and the show of shame that was exhibited at the stadium. This visit affords us an opportunity to wipe the slate clean on that.
The governor, members of the Executive Council, used the occasion of the first Executive Council meeting of the year to celebrate the Deputy Governor, Engineer Noimo Solakoyedele, who clocked 56 years on the 8th of January 2022.
She proved herself before she was appointed. She has justified the confidence that informed my asking her to come and work with me. She has demonstrated capacity. She's been extremely loyal. She's been a very fast learner in the political process. Yes, confirmed.
The governor also described his deputy as a very strong woman, energetic and responsible, particularly in the execution of the Building Our Future Together agenda. Yusuf Ganiyu, Ogtv News.
And still to come in the news, President Buhari okays establishment of Nigerian Diaspora Investment Trust Fund. More news and reports after this time out. You're still watching Ogtv News. Thanks so much for joining us in part 2 of the news. Not less than 8,000 public school teachers in Ogun State have been presented with their letters of promotion for the year 2018. Our reporter Margaret Okunlola reports that the chairman of the Ogun State Teaching Service Commission, Evangelist Olalekan Ifede, supervised the presentation of the promotion letters to the teachers during his inspection and monitoring of schools aimed at checking the level of preparedness of teachers for schools resumption.
In order to sustain the advancement of educational system in Ogun State, as well as ensure effective and productive teaching learning process in the state, a team from the State Teaching Service Commission led by its chairman, Evangelist Olalekan Ifede, in company of the Permanent Secretary, Dr. Abdulwahid Olanloye, the Commissioner 1, Dr. Adeola Akintonde, directors and staffs of the Commission, monitored schools in the state as academic activities resumed for the second term. The monitoring exercise commenced from Ajiboye, the Comprehensive High School, Ibara Orile in Abeokuta North, and Sarudin Grammar School, Ishaga Orile, Christ Apostolic Grammar School, Ikberu in Ikene Local Government, then to Ishara Secondary School, Remo North Local Government, and finally to Methodist Comprehensive High School, Agoiwoye, Ijebu North Local Government area of the state. The monitoring exercise witnessed the presentation of 2018 promotion letters to public school teachers with its matching pay as assured by the chairman of the commission, Evangelist Olalekan Ifede.
This promotion is going to go a long way in increasing the morale of the teachers. By March, those who did 2019 will collect their own, and by May, those who did 2020 we collect their letters. Well, this is a reception monitoring, at least to see that the school is set and the teachers are ready for work.
Evangelist Ifede commended the teachers for their level of preparedness and was also impressed with the level of compliance with the undertaking form.
At least so many schools that we have visited, 80, 70, even the school with 90% compliance. And I know by tomorrow or next tomorrow, everybody will have completed their letter of undertaking.
Teachers thanked the state government as a promise-keeping administration.
On behalf of the PTA, the governing body, the parents club of this school, even the students, because when the teachers are happy, it's going to show effect on the students. I want to sincerely appreciate our governor, Prince Dakpo Abiodun Omakesan Oja, that he has said it and he is doing it.
I feel glad and I feel great. This is a promise by the state government. Our man, Prince Dakpo Abiodun, he has promised and he has fulfilled the promise.
Evangelist Ifede said letters of promotion for the 2019 will be readily available by March, while that of 2020 will be ready by May, charging teachers to double their efforts as the reward for hard work is more work. Margaret Okunlola, Ogtv News.
All is now set for the visit of the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, Muhammadu Buhari, to Ogun State. Finishing touches have been given to the landmark project of the Prince Dakpo Abiodun-led administration, which are lined up for the commissioning by the President on Thursday. Fowora Adesanwo reports that women, youth, and senior citizens in Ogun State are ready to give the President a warm and rousing welcome.
A detachment of the Nigerian Army on rehearsal towards our Ogtv visit of the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, Muhammadu Buhari, to Ogun State. This is a gateway city gate. It is no longer Arus. The President is coming. You can see from the background the detachments of the Nigerian Army doing their rehearsal preparatory to the President Buhari's visit to Ogun State.
The coming of the President to the state is a plus for everybody, for every citizen of this our dear state. It's not just for the government, it's for everybody. It shows that yes, the President is satisfied with what we are doing and is willing to come and identify with us concerning our development that is ongoing here.
We're happy he's coming to Ogun State. It's been it's been expected. And we thank God that it's finally going to happen on Thursday. We are ready for him. We are his wives, we are his children, we are his siblings, we are everything to him. And we want him to know that, and we are going to show him that when he comes on Thursday.
Yes.
We are fully prepared and ready for him to arrive.
Along the Kobakpe-Shiun-Shagamu Expressway alone, no fewer than 4 projects are lined up for commissioning. Obstacles are being removed. All hands are on the deck. The President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, President Muhammadu Buhari, is being expected to commission the edifice, about 600 units of housing at Kobakpe near Abeokuta. You can see all hands are on deck. People are working day and night to ensure that the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria receive a warm reception from the good people of Ogun State, and it is expected that the people of Ogun State will showcase what they are known for, hospitality at the peak, when the President arrives. These are landmark projects, popularly called legacy projects, but in the real sense of it, the projects are legendary. A number of people across Ogun State attest to the fact that the present administration needs commendation to deliver more dividends of democracy.
The job belongs to all of us, not only the governments, including us, the citizen, and the people that lives around that axis, that we have to protect what government has done for us.
From here now to Lagos now, you can see it will not take us like 1 hour, we get to Lagos. But without this, you know how many hours we are going to spend here.
So the uniform has been already on ground. So we are waiting. We have been waiting because we were told that it was coming before something was postponed. So definitely, when it comes, you will see that there are certain people that are living in Riwole CDC.
No doubt, the President will be giving a rousing welcome at the Fora at the.
President Muhammadu Buhari has endorsed the establishment of the Nigerian Diaspora Investment Trust Fund, a private sector investment window with Nigerians in the diaspora to support direct investments in the country. Speaking at the presentation of a compendium entitled Plus 600 Diaspora Icons at 60, published by the Nigerians in Diaspora Commission (NIDCOM) in Abuja, President Buhari said Nigeria is open to welcoming the diaspora direct investment by compatriots abroad. The President also pledged support for the establishment of the Diaspora Intervention Fund to support the Commission to fulfill its mandate, noted that the foreign exchange remittance by Nigerians in the diaspora have not only helped families but enhanced the development index of Nigeria. The President described the 327-page compendium as a historical record of the worth of compatriots globally, adding that the distinguished list in the publication is a reminder of what Nigerians are capable of doing to the delight of the global community.
To the delight of the global community, irrespective of the few bad eggs among us, and every nation has such bad eggs, Nigeria remains a great country populated by great people, living at home or abroad, making us proud.
President Buhari reminded Nigerians that it is their duty to extol and celebrate compatriots that excel in their chosen careers and professions, while congratulating those whose names made it to the first edition. The President encouraged others to work more conscientiously to make the list in the subsequent editions, while recounting his engagement with Nigerians in the diaspora during his official travels abroad. President Buhari said his diaspora threefold agenda remains unchanged.
By their character, comportment, and daily actions. B, they should be the best and excel in all in their endeavors. And C, they should give back by contributing to the development of Nigeria.
In our remarks, the Chairman and Chief Executive Officer of NIDCOM, Dabiri Erewa said the idea of the compendium was inspired from the regular diaspora presidential town hall meetings, adding that the commission plans to publish the compendium at regular intervals towards changing the negative stereotypes typified by the activities of a few Nigerians who do not represent the country well. President Buhari therefore commended the Diaspora Commission led by Honorable Abike Dabiri Erewa for the energy and innovative steps they put together to ensure better engagement with the diaspora community. The United Nations Secretary General Antonio Guterres has officially announced Amina Mohammed of Nigeria as Deputy Secretary General of the World Body.
Solemnly declare and promise to exercise.
In January 2017, United Nations Secretary General Antonio Guterres sworn in Nigeria's Amina Mohammed as Deputy Secretary General of the global body. Shortly after the UN General Assembly reappointed Antonio Guterres for a second term in June, the UN scribe term in June, the UN scribe said Nigeria's Aminat Mohammed will serve with him for a second term. During a media chat in New York, the United Nations spokesperson Stefan Dujarric said the formal confirmation of Amina Mohammed followed a successful first tenure, recognizing a contribution in the UN robust response to the socio-economic effect of the COVID-19 crisis.
That member states called for in adopting the Sustainable Development Goals. The Secretary General expressed his appreciation for the Deputy Secretary General's leadership of the UN Sustainable Development Group and her determination to reinforce the collective results and maximize the impact of the UN development system.
The global body also sympathized with Nigeria on the recent attacks in Zamfara State.
Condolences to the bereaved families. The Secretary General urges the Nigerian authorities to spare no effort in bringing those responsible for this heinous crime to justice. The Secretary General reaffirms the solidarity and support of the United Nations to the government and people of Nigeria in their fight against terrorism, violent extremism, and organized crime.
That was United Nations spokesperson Stephanie Dujarric at the confirmation of Amina Mohammed as Deputy Secretary General of the World Body. The federal government said its National Development Plan NDP project will lift 35 million Nigerians out of poverty and create 21 million jobs within the next 3 years. The federal and state government as well as the private sector will fund the plan with an investment size of 348.1 trillion naira. The Minister of Finance, Budget and National Planning, Dr. Zainab Ahmed, who disclosed this in Abuja, added that the investment is expected to result in Nigeria achieving improved competitiveness of the economy with a gross development product growth of 5 to 6%. She further explained that the sectoral composition in the NDP 2021 to 2025 includes economic growth and development, infrastructure, public administration, human capital development, social development, regional development and plan implementation, communication, financing, monitoring and evaluation. According to her, the NDP is aimed at accelerating growth, deepening the initiative for diversified growth and fostering sustainable development. The federal government and the United Nations World Food Programme have agreed to scale up the national homegrown school feeding program as schools reopen in Nigeria. Both parties said they will take the program to the next level and that the decision came from a joint assessment conducted in the first quarter of 2021 to identify ways of improving, scaling up and sustaining the NHGSFP. They disclosed this in a joint statement from the WFP and the Federal Ministry of Humanitarian Affairs, Disaster Management and Social Development issued in Abuja by the UN agency. Both parties stated that in 2021, the initiative served school meals to over 9 million students in 53,000 public primary schools, making it one of the largest school feeding programs in Africa. They stated that the children enjoyed healthy, diversified food, adding that this made it more likely that they would stay in school, perform better, and improve their adult job prospects. Up next is business news.
You're welcome to the business news. The price of Bonny Light, Nigeria's premium oil grade, has risen to $81.81 per barrel in the global market as the Organization of Petroleum Exporting Countries, OPEC, moves to achieve market stability. This showed $19.81 per barrel in excess of the $62 per barrel reference price of the 2022 budget, which was also based on 1.8 million barrels per day, excluding condensate that Nigeria has the capacity to produce between 300,000 barrels per day, 400,000 barrels per day. Despite the negative impact of Omicron, some analysts still expect the global oil market to remain relatively stable in 2022. As Nigerians continue to depend heavily on importation of various goods and services, the federal government Tuesday assured that livestock product importation will be reduced with implementation of the national dairy policy, including other issues affecting the industry. The assurance was given by the Permanent Secretary, Federal Ministry of Agriculture and Rural Development, Dr. Ernest Umakihe, in an opening remark while declaring open the National Dairy Policy Validation Workshop organized by the Federal Ministry of Agriculture and Rural Development in collaboration with the Federal Ministry of Industry, Trade and Investment held in Abuja. Umakihe also described the National Dairy Policy as apt and articulate, which is in accordance with the vision of the federal government for the dairy industry. The Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, EFCC, in continuation of the review of its operational activities for 2021, disclosed that it's recovered the aggregate sum of 152,808,698,751 naira, 386,220,202 and of course £1,182,519 and €156,246 in 2021. A release made available to newsmen by the head media and publicity of the Commission, Wilson Ewujan, informed that EFCC also recovered 1,722,310 Saudi Riyal and of course $1,400 between January and December 2021. Wujere further informed that the recovery also included a digital currency component in Bitcoin and Ethereum. The Niger Delta Power Holding Company has announced the shutdown of its 504-megawatt Alaoji power plant following the vandalism of a part of the Northern Option pipeline that supplies gas to the power plant. The NDHCP disclosed this after Total Energies Exploration and Production Nigeria Limited declared a force majeure resulting from its NOPL line vandalism at KP41 on January 7, 2022. The shutdown of the plant reduced power generation on the national grid as Total Energies, in a letter to the NDPHC, explained that it could not supply gas to the 504-megawatt plant due to the vandalism of its gas pipeline. The total number of internet subscribers in Nigeria has dropped by 10.9 million in 11 months, according to the latest industry data obtained from the Nigerian Communications Commission. The NCC data showed that the total number of internet subscribers fell to 140.4 million in November 2021 from 151.3 million in January 2021. According to the NCC, Mobile data subscriptions have the largest share, while fixed wire subscriptions and voice-over internet protocol subscriptions contribute negligible numbers to the internet connection. The total number of mobile data subscribers declined to 140.1 million in November 2021 from 150.9 million in January 2021, showing a difference of 10.8 million subscribers. And finally, on the business news, the Federal Airport Authority of Nigeria says it has arrested 90 persons at the Murtala Mohammed Airport, Lagos, and the Nnamdi Azikiwe International Airport, Abuja, for their involvement in fake COVID-19 test result touting. Among others, the General Manager, Corporate Affairs, FAN, Henrietta Yakubu, said in a statement that those arrested were caught carrying out nefarious activities at the airport. It said the arrests were part of effort to rid the nation's airport of touting and extortion, following incessant complaints by travelers of being extorted by personnel at airport, particularly since the outbreak of COVID-19. And that's the end of the business news tonight. Many thanks for watching. Back to Bukola for the segment of the news.
Thank you, Samiat. Now foreign news. British Prime Minister Boris Johnson was embroiled on Tuesday in another scandal over his government's alleged lockdown breaches. The United Nations on Tuesday said it needed $5 billion in aid for Afghanistan in 2022 to avert humanitarian catastrophe and offer the country a future after 40 years of suffering. Precious Chukwu has the stories on the World Today.
Gentlemen, is that all guidance was followed completely during number